What up, folks? It's Trails. Welcome back to another one. And definitely make sure you tap in and you hit that like and you hit that subscribe. Now, we got some Sonya Massey news to go over. And Deputy Sean Grayson has been charged with second-degree murder. I repeat, second-degree murder. This charge carries a 4 to 20-year sentence. Now, Mr. Grayson had the ability to be charged with first-degree murder, but however, the jury decided that that charge, which carried a 45-year-to-life sentence, was not fit. Therefore, the family is calling for wrongdoing in this litigation for the justice of Sonya Massey. We got this ABC video to break it down. We're going to go ahead and let this play, stop it when we need to provide more clarity and give you more information about what's provided in this situation.
This is an ABC News special report.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We're coming on the air because our ABC station WLS is reporting there is a verdict in the Sonya Massey police shooting trial in Illinois. A jury has just found former deputy Sean Grayson guilty of second-degree murder for shooting and killing Massey in her kitchen after she called 911 to report a possible intruder in her home. You will remember this body cam video. It's very disturbing. It shows Deputy Grayson opening fire while she was holding a pot of boiling water. Grayson saying he feared for his life in this moment. Jury deliberations began yesterday. Grayson has pleaded not guilty, testifying in his own defense. Let's get right to our Matt Rivers. He's there at the courthouse. Matt, what can you tell us?
So he pled not guilty and testified in his own defense. Didn't even need a lawyer because, hey, why spend money? You're a white male police officer, regardless of all the past history that you've had, you're pretty privileged when it comes to this situation. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You shoot someone in the head and do 5. That's nothing, So, hey, why would he need to spend money on a lawyer? That would be wasteful spending, according to him.
Yeah, so this just happened. Very tense scenes, of course, inside this courtroom. A trial playing out really in front of the eyes of the country. Everyone waiting to see what this verdict would be. Coming down as guilty on a second-degree murder charge. The jury was charged by the judge to consider both a first-degree murder charge and a second-degree murder charge. They chose not to convict Sean Grayson on that first-degree charge, instead giving him a conviction on that second-degree murder charge. That carries a...
You hear that? They had the ability to do it, like I said.
A conviction on that second-degree murder charge. That carries a typical sentence between 4 and 20 years, but that's very different than the sentence that would have come down were a conviction to be had on the first-degree murder charge, which faced a minimum of 45 years to life. So the sentencing, very, very different between these two charges. So prosecutors getting their conviction here, but not getting the first-degree charge that many family members of Sonya Massey were certainly hoping to hear. We are going to hear from both the prosecutors and representatives of Massey's family at a press conference here shortly. No doubt they're going to be, at least members of the family, disappointed to some degree that first-degree murder charge was not to be had.
And
this also means that he's probably going to get, 4 years maybe? Crazy, right? And yeah, that's the way society goes. And there's actually a lot of white supremacists all over X and all over everywhere upset that he was even charged with the second degree at all. And rumor all over X is that the jury was mostly white women. So you have all these incels talking about how, this is the fault of white women because they're soft when it comes to holding black people accountable, yada, yada, yada. There's plenty of people that mad that he was even charged in the first place. When I personally believe he should have got at least 20 years. That first degree should have definitely took 10 minutes to litigate, especially with the video in 4K. But hey, what do you say?
Coming from our WLS reporter that was in the courtroom, that the courtroom was very silent as the verdict was read. It was quick. Sean Grayson showed very little emotion. He stood stoically and made no comments. After the verdict was read, he held his hands out, he was handcuffed, and he walked away. Let's bring in our defense attorney and ABC News contributor, Brian Buckmeyer. Matt was just mentioning that we were going to hear from Massey's family. Apparently, Ben Crump has made a statement as he's been representing the family. Brian, what do we know?
Yeah, so what we're seeing so far, I'm just seeing some of this statement now. It's typical what you would think of statements, especially from Ben Crump, talking about how the death of Sonya Massey really led to significant reforms in Illinois. We know that this also had an impact in terms of a civil lawsuit where a $10 million settlement for the family was brought apart, as also improving police hiring practices. While the jury did not hear all of the details of Sean Grayson's history or of employment, we knew about his employment. So I think in Illinois, since Sonya Massey's...
Why wasn't the juror allowed to listen to the past record? Why would that be important to keep away from understanding whether or not this results as a first degree or a second degree charge? I believe that information right there is a determining factor that is important when it comes to coming up with the idea or sentence or conviction of or admission of guilt in this situation. And this is a failure, and these are those legally safeguards that you know who's are allowed to have when it comes to the judicial process. Now they would have told you they would have brought back the first time I stole a candy bar. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they do. They withhold and keep the person looking prestigious and esteemed to soften the blow to get a less conviction.
Killing, we've seen a greater emphasis on who is being hired as local law enforcement and ensuring that individuals who have DUIs or unsavory recommendations based on either their military service or in previous departments, that they don't get hired.
Well, no doubt.
The only hiring factor that police departments care about is if the person applying is white. And probably more benefits if you're a white male. That is all you need to be. This is all you need to do. There's no need to sugarcoat the situation. There's no need to be afraid to play with the truth. It is the truth. And we know that most police officers, especially the white males on the force, are racist. Those be the main ones with the racist tendencies in their mind when it comes to these situations. So, hey, what do you do when the pig is racist too?
The most powerful piece of evidence was that body cam video. Video doesn't lie.
That video cam evidence is useless if it only ended up turning around getting this man a 4 to 20-year sentence. When we know that when sentencing comes, it's not going to be 20. It's not going to be 10. It could be 4. We're looking at maybe a maximum of 8. That video cam was useless. And if it didn't exist, he probably wouldn't have been charged at all. But hey, slap on the wrist even when you're caught shooting someone in the head in 4K. As long as it's for the service of the country, hey, you did your job, right? One less schizo off the streets.
Brian Buckmeyer, Matt Rivers, thank you both so much. Our coverage does continue on ABC News Live and abcnews.com. David Muir will be here with the entire team for World News Tonight. I'm Kira Phillips here in Washington, D.C. We'll take you now back to your regular programming.
Well, that'll do it. And, yeah, my heart goes out to the family. No one should have to deal with this, especially when it results in a situation where she was calling the cops initially to defend herself. And that's nothing worse than the world when calling for help and that's your execution at the same time. But then on top of that, you get the suspect, the person who executes you, gets a second degree for doing it, even though it was in 4K. And everyone wants to sit around and act like the judicial system is just so equal and is so supportive, and everyone's being held accountable in the right manner, and oh, life is just so great. There's no type of reforms or re-education or restructuring that needs to occur. You know, let's just continue to make criminals and enslave them, especially if they look like me. But anyways, I'm ranting now. But thanks for watching. Make sure you tap in, like I said before, and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what you think about this situation. Is this justice, or is it, like I say, an injustice, a slap in the face? This right here should cause a ruckus, but it won't, because most black folks are worried and concerned about other bullshit gossip that has nothing to do with their lives or the importance of it. They will continue to allow these people to run around and slap us in the face and act like they own, created, built, and run everything, when they're nothing but immigrants who ain't did a damn thing. Anyways, that's it for this one. And as always, you know what it is. Deuces.